Hello everyone, welcome to my classroom. Thanks for watching. If you have not already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel because there will be more of these coming to a week. This week I actually decided to do something a little bit different. I put feelers out to other educators to see what were things that they really wanted people to talk about, things that were just things that were in the back of their minds, and they were just like, you know what, this is something I kind of want to know more information about, and it would be cool if you did talk about it. So this week's topic is actually going to be politics in education, or politics in teaching. We should say that. So this actually reminds me of a story. I was at a meeting this summer and we were all having a discussion, and someone brought up this point and said, oh, well, you know what? My organization, we really try to stay out of those politics. We don't get involved in things like that. You know, that's not what we're about. And I looked and I said, well, you know, most organizations, all organizations, not most organizations, are involved in politics in some way. It's impossible to not be involved in politics. What I think happens is because we are so accustomed to what we see on the news about politics and politicians, now we have, you know, the word politics itself has this negative connotation. However, as educators, in order to empower ourselves, we really need to be much better informed when it comes to learning about politics and education. So I'm just going to go over a few things that I've learned. Some of them are things that I've learned with just being in education. The other things are things that I've learned in classes that have really applied well to just my professional life. So again, you know, I'm a teacher. I have my list. I'm gonna look, but I want to make sure everything's organized for you. So the first thing that I learned when it comes to just approaching politics in the classroom, politics in education, is you actually need to learn your organizational structure. And I know that was something that was unexpected, but schools, districts, anything that's a large group of people, it's an organization of people, it has a structure. And so it's extremely important to know the kind of structure that you're working in, because it's going to help you figure out how to navigate it. So there are books, I did show one of my books, that really outline different organizational structures and how to navigate those once you understand, you know, who is actually the person who's running things. Is it a structure in which everybody kind of contributes together? Is it divisionalized? So those are things that you need to know, which are actually quite helpful, and which led into my next point of learning how to just navigate that structure. So once you know what kind of structure you're in, you know how things are run, and you know how to navigate it, how to move through it. Because if you have a structure in which people kind of all come together to make decisions versus one where it's very divisionalized and compartmentalized, the way you move in those two different organizations will be different. So you need to understand how your school is run, and you need to understand how your district is run. Another thing that people really, I always push this, and I think people really don't want to pay attention to it as much, but it is all about coalition building. It's all about interpersonal skills. So when we're talking about politics in the classroom, politics in education, it's all about all of those groups of people who are involved in education, all of those different stakeholders who are involved in education. Are you really trying to navigate those different groups of people? And those groups of people can vary from, you know, your local politician to your teachers union to just a community activist or a community group. So you really need to work on making sure that you are navigating those waters and really being able to move in and out of those as seamlessly as possible, because then that will help you when you're approaching the politics that come with education. Another thing that I have on there is learn about policy. So when I think about the politics of education, I think about organizational structures, but I also think about policies, because as educators, we'll sometimes think that a policy just came completely out of left field. You're just like, oh my God, why are we doing this particular thing? Why we have this particular rule? Why did they get rid of this particular requirement and add this one in? However, those decisions have been in the works for months, sometimes years, you really need to understand how policy works. You need to understand who are the people who are making those decisions. Who are your key players, okay? Once you figure out who your key players are, then you begin to understand why someone decided that all kids need to take basket weaving 101 as a graduation requirement. Because all the way down the line, it could be someone who was a politician who took basket weaving, and that particular person was like, that changed my life. And they have all of these different connections so that other people are like, yes, basket weaving will change kids' lives. And then 2 years later, you're teaching basket weaving 101, and you have no idea why. So you need to understand how policy works. You also need to keep up with what's happening in the news. It's more informative than you think. When you're looking at trends, like if you're looking even at census data, if you've noticed that there is a decline in school-aged children, then that might mean that there's going to be some sort of a change in policy with how, and let's say it's children who are in grades K through 2. There may be a different policy with how they approach grades K through 2, just because there's been a decline in the population. So you really need to just be aware of all the things that are happening, because those are things that directly affect education. Because no matter what, we're in the business of people. That's what I always say. We work with people. Hopefully, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing in our classrooms. We're helping people to grow and to become productive citizens out in the world. So the world is going to dictate what we do in our classrooms. Okay, and the last thing, when we're talking about politics and education, politics of the classroom, get involved. And those are things that, as teachers, sometimes it's difficult for us to do, because some of us still do like the safety of our classrooms. However, you need to get involved. You need to be active in your community, be active in the community that your school is in. You need to do your research, see what's going on, keep up with those articles as they're coming through. Join community organizations. Go to those community organizations meetings. They are always advertising them. It's easy to keep up, especially with social media. But you need to get involved with what's happening. Who's coming into my school? Why are they coming into my school? I need to learn more about what these organizations are about. But it also helps you, because now people see you. And so you are now in a position where you may influence more decisions than you think. Or it may be easier to just navigate your daily waters because people see how involved you are. So that is my little spiel today as far as politics and education, politics in the classroom. And I know some people may have thought, oh, we're really thinking about it when we're really interacting with each other in a building. But one thing that I've learned is that when we talk about politics in the classroom, it's bigger than us. And you really need to understand education policy and organizational structure on a grander scale to really understand the happenings in your particular building. So that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. Again, if you enjoyed my video, if you've enjoyed the other videos, I'm going to ask that you subscribe. I'm also going to ask that you like this video. If you would like to know more information about organizational structures, or if you're interested in having me speak at your school or for your organization, my contact information is in the description box below. Everyone, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Hey, interested in learning more or having me work with your school or organization? See the details section below for contact information. Again, thanks for watching.